You're about to enter the arena of competition, unfair, unlevel ground competition, winner take all. Loser gets a second-rate consolation if he's lucky. There are rules, protocols, items that determine and control the judgments that the environment makes, the rules, the consequences, intended and unintended. How does the invisible man, the social pariah, the man with no appearance, no personality, nothing to attract you to him? He may be short, fat, dumpy, and ugly like me. He may be an old man like me. He may be infirm and erectively impotent like me. How does he even the score? How does he make an impression out there that will be somewhat effective? Not 100%, not 80%, not 70%, not 50, not 40, maybe 20%, maybe 10% if he's lucky, but it's more than what he had before. Well, you can listen to slick salesmen like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has the answers. He has the strategies. There's only one problem. The problem for the short, small man, that's who we're talking about here. Disenfranchised. He doesn't exist. He has no power, no real power, no respect, no presence because of the height, the phenotype, the way the clothes look, the behaviors, and so on and so forth that are a consequence of the personality and appearance. I'm calling it the phenotype. Those are the behaviors, the observables that the other social performers in an environmental context judge the short, small man. They may mock him behind his back and to his face. How does he push back against that kind of resistance? How does he come up with simulators? Because he cannot get the experiences out there that will get him blooded into the school of hard knocks. He can't even make it through that, man. He stands and gets the visceral, repulsive response. It's organic. It's assured definitely from women in most contexts. How does he even the score? How does he put himself in a position to where he is legitimately competitive? When you listen to me speak, I advise you do not prejudge, label, mock what I am saying here without first stepping back. Don't look at me, an old man talking to you, and say, old man, you're drunk. Go home, old man. You're stupid, old man. All that other crap. I've heard everything, lad. I've been broken by every whiplash and insult by fools. Instead, why don't you step back? Think about what I'm saying. Now, those of you out there, my listeners, who are not short, small man like me, who are not ugly like me, who are not alienated man like me, can afford to point the finger and judge. But I say to you, when you're pointing the finger at me, judging me, mocking me, calling me names, there's three fingers pointing right back at you. I say to you, take stock. Step back. Think on what you're saying. Think on what I'm saying. It's a dog-eat-dog out there. There's a hellacious practical reality to contend with. Fear, panic, immobility, paralysis to act, as a consequence of not having the right trump cards in your pocket that you can pull out. The trump cards are what? Assertiveness training, martial arts, in the short man's case, mixed martial arts, ability to assess quickly, instantly the situation and not be deluded by dreams. I'm okay, you're okay. You win, I win. Doesn't work that way. This is a pay-as-you-go, winner-take-all world. The loser, and there's a hierarchy of losers in this situation, gets, if he's lucky, a token consolation. The short, small man has to be born again, hard, tough. He's got to develop lots of hard bark on him. This takes being beaten up again and again out there, not being discouraged by that. Stepping out of the battle, rethinking the situation, doing a strict, tight self-assessment, prosecuting yourself like the toughest prosecutor would prosecute you. You're on trial, short, small man. Your accusers, the environment, the other social performers who need a fall guy, a patsy, that they can mock, point a finger at, and in their foolishness feel better about themselves. It becomes a habit, a lifestyle, a way of life, because you'll feel bad about yourself, short, small man, your appearance, your personality. You've been mocked, you've been ridiculed. You have taken the Quasimodo response. Women have been revolted by you. You haven't even said anything, but you're a creep. You're the yucky guy. In a never-ending struggle versus cool, who controls the perceptions, the expectancies, the social realities, the judgments, the consequences, and sets the rules and regulations of the game. Games people play. Eric Berne, TA, Transactional Analysis. You have to size yourself up size your opponent up, your social adversary, and everybody out there is the social adversary of the short, small man until proven otherwise. You better test it out good. Don't assume anything. Don't take anything for granted. You better test it out good. You better ask yourself and your environment the right questions. Don't assume anything. You better look at yourself in the mirrors in the light of day and be very, very realistic and practical about what you're seeing and being fair out there. You have to give credit where credit's due. Everything is a footnote to the hot genital strivings. What is that? What the hell is this old man talking about? That is the chemistry. Everything's a footnote to that. And then it comes back to your height, your stature, your phenotype, your appearance, your clothes, your material backup. That's what I'm talking about. The discussion has to be predicated on these first premises that raise the issues, that provide the resistances, and ultimately are the testing ground out there to find out the veracity or the truth or the functional truthfulness of your assumptions, how you sized up the situation. Everybody sees things from their own perspective and think primarily, fundamentally, from the greed principle. What is that? What in the hell is this foolish old man talking about? What's in it for me? How do I stand to benefit talking to this repulsive-looking, short, small, ugly man? And if you look like you're impressed by the son of a bitch that you're talking to socially, you're going to get it 10 times as hard. You and I, short, small man, short, small, repulsive, ugly old man, like me, I'm right with you. I'm down on the floor with you, man. I'm in the gutter and the ground with you. I'm talking right at you, not above you, but I'm talking to you, mano a mano. You have to immediately have the ability, the capacity, and the will to assert yourself and be effective in so doing. You have to turn the earth upside down to find your particular resolution, practical resolution. It has to be practical to this specific problem. What's the specific problem? How does a man like me get respect, get credit, become effective, practically speaking, in a world that's stacked up right from the start against the short, small man with no appearance and no personality? Now, if you're going to say to me, well, short, small man, don't just sit back there, short, small man, and pontificate. Get out, little man, get out there. Get you some experience. That's fine. But you have to get out there and get the hardcore experience and be blooded by the resistances, by the stressors that you're going to find in the environment. There's only one problem. The short, small man initially cannot get quality experience. He cannot get the quality contacts. He cannot sustain them. So whatever experience he gets, he gleans from other stories, from partial experiences that he can survive in. It's a question for the short, small man of not the experience, but surviving in a contact. You can't even do that. Can't even get past 3 or 4 minutes with any woman surviving socially, unless somebody backs him up. Who is that somebody? A lowlife called a TDH, tall, dark, and handsome, with the hot genital advantages. And perhaps he'll open the door for the short, small, ugly man. And perhaps the ugly man, in imitating TDH, the cool guy, will be able to get a little experience for himself. Perhaps the cool guy is humane. Perhaps the cool guy is intelligent. Now, as I keep expanding the content of what's required here, you can see how more and more foolish it becomes, more and more of a delusion we get into. There's no cool guy who's gonna do that. Unless short, small man compensates him. He wants something for himself, the Greek principle. What's in it for me? Now, the tall dude, TDH, he wants something for himself from the short man. Short man's gonna have to pay him. Now, what the chances that TDH is gonna come through for the short, small man? That he'll open the door for the short, small man, and that he is so persuasive. He's a movie star. And all this other bullshit that goes along with that we've been conditioned to think of as attractive, as appealing, and so on and so forth. What are the chances that he's going to be generous enough of spirit and pull the short, small, repulsive man? And furthermore, what are the chances he can sell it to any woman? As we take the premise to an absurdity and see exactly what we're involved in here, with here, practically speaking, let the experience, let the discussion begin. But first, let the foundation of the discussion be on solid ground. Let it be practical, fair, and realistic. You'll have to give credit where the credit is due. You can't take anything for granted. Everything has to be investigational. Everything has to be put in a way that the forces can contact, conflict, and argue with each other. Let the fight begin. Let the experiment begin. Let the experience begin, the real experience. And we'll see what happens.